agenda real quick?
Yes.
Make the plan.
All right, everybody looked at the minutes, we'll approve the minutes,
Yep.
with all the meetings,
Yep.
claims,
Yep.
the bills for the month, and I'm sure.
Can you hear Steve?
Yep.
There's no scheduled visitors.
Nope.
Sewer department, we have one sewer adjustment, it appears.
Yep.
So that's standard. Parks board, I think Chris Burnett's gonna be here to take Brian Everidge's place.
Yes.
Cemetery, Brandon will be reporting on that.
Yes.
Joy's here for the police department. Town business. We have Brenna, will be the Wood Township, whatever.
You want me to just kind of go over that
Yeah,
stuff real quick?
You know what you're talking about.
Okay, so Wood Township, we did get the resolution.
Oh,
We got the resolution, but she didn't drop off the memo.
Well, that's what was in the box.
Oh.
That was in the sewer night drop. That was the only paper that was in there.
is
Yeah.
this an interlocal agreement?
This is just the resolution to be able to have the memo with the interlocal agreement, but she didn't drop
Yeah.
off that part.
Yeah, because normally it'll be attached as an exhibit. So I'd be reluctant to advise you all to adopt the resolution if you don't know what the interlocal agreement's going to be like.
Well, they already
Adopt
did the
something when
resolution.
we're done.
They adopted the resolution, and we
Oh.
had the memo with us,
Okay.
because we created the memo, but she was supposed to drop off both of them, but she only dropped off this one that was signed.
Oh, okay. So you just need to get that copy
Yeah,
from her. Then.
yeah, yeah,
So we don't do nothing there.
no,
Well, that's even better.
yeah. Okay, trick or treating for the town, October 31st, 6 to 8, as always, and under advisement from our officer. Christmas party, we need to discuss what date we'd have the Christmas party, so we can start planning for that.
And just so everybody knows, I did mention it to Tim at the diner about the diner catering it, and he said he would be interested in that. If everyone else is, we can think about that.
And then what date would we want to do it? Do we want to do it like the day after town council, or do we want to do it on Thursday after town council that week? So town council is December 9th. What are we thinking? Because, I mean, like, Friday nights and Saturdays a lot
Well,
through.
the closer you get to Christmas, the
It's
more
gonna be
people.
harder,
So
yeah.
I would
Yeah.
suggest the 10th.
What's
I mean-
everybody think about that? Are you guys in town, Steve?
I'm looking at, there's no.
Yeah, just what we are. Yep.
Huh?
So Wednesday evening?
Yeah.
Wednesday
What,
evening,
Joey?
yeah.
No, we're good.
Okay.
Wednesday evening, what, 6 or 7? What y'all's thoughts time-wise?
I mean, it would just depend on the people. Like, if there's a lot of people that work out of like the town of Borden that would need to get back here.
Well, you want to say 7? I'll give Tim more time to, if we use him to prepare the food.
I think that's fair.
So 7 p.m.?
7 to 9.
Yeah, 7 to 9, or like 7 to 8:30, whatever.
And Faith and Jenna, Brenna will be in charge of games and entertainment.
Oh, we will.
Brenda always has in the past, but hey, if you,
I
I think
know.
Leanne would be
No,
good.
no, no, Liam would not be. No.
You have entertainment.
We can come up with something.
Yeah, we can, yeah. Okay, so the next thing is 401k benefits. So this has come up kind of quickly, but one thing is I spoke with Faith already to be able to talk to Jonathan Wright, who does the 401k, and to be a signer, or to be somebody that he can talk to too for the town. So she's agreed, since she has her full-time job and everything, to do that, but also to be able to, right now, the town offers after 2 years of employment, then they can participate in the 401k, to be an added incentive for, like, even the, since we're getting a COPS grant, to be able to change it to where we can offer a 401k to someone after they've been here a year. So that's what I wanted to bring to the council tonight. And we need to adopt it this month, amend it, And he has all the paperwork in here, and we just have to have Steve sign off when he gets back, and Faith, that we'd want to change it to after a year instead of 2 years. But I wanted to bring it to you guys to see what you guys thought about it.
Yeah, fine.
Okay, you good with that? Okay. Voluntary annexation, and I know you sent the email, I was real busy at the time, but David Ruckman was sick with the flu all last week, so I couldn't get his signature, and I knew I could call him at a hat's drop and just get him here. But then that goes along with the First Christian Church, which they are supposed to be doing it through a vote with voting email here soon. Muddy Fork Conservancy, I've talked to their lawyer, Dustin Howard, and he's supposed to be getting with their board and discussing it and getting the paperwork to us. And then the school is October 20th, so we have to wait until their meeting to get that.
Okay, yeah, the timing is so tricky because, once the petition is signed and filed, there's a notice that goes to the paper. It's got to get published at least 20 days before the town council holds the public hearing, which is the town council's first action. And then when the petition's filed, the public hearing also has to be within 30 days of that. So basically you have a kind of a 10-day window there to do the public hearing once the petition's signed and filed at town hall. So I guess we just need to kind of figure out, we don't have to, if obviously we're going to have to do some separate petitions and ordinances for some of these. So just trying to figure out what track each of these are going to be on. Because, as of right now, for instance, with Ruckman and First Christian Church, depending on when the voting ends, we could potentially have the public hearing for that at the next November meeting. But it would just have to be probably in the next week or two, we'd have to get the petition filed.
I would anticipate that because the email did go out this afternoon, and so I'm watching response on my personal email from the other elders and deacons at the church. So I've got a couple responses, but we're just looking for a quorum since they didn't have one to vote Monday night. So I anticipate we'll have that by the end of the week.
Okay. And then also with that, I should have put that right underneath it because that changed too, because I forgot that we needed to get a proposal letter to them stating that, and I created it, I got in the room, I think I sent it to you because I already had it as a PDF, Steve, but to state that we will waive the $1,500 connection fee, and that they would, if they're in town limits, that they will be the commercial rate for in-town limits. So they needed something in writing for their next letter. So I wrote it all out. Steve sees the email with it, but we just need to get it to their meeting so they can approve that too.
And this is for the school?
Yeah, huh?
This was for the school?
Yes, this is
Okay.
just for the school.
Right.
That's
So
what I thought.
it was just a simple letter
Yeah.
statement, so that's what we'd need to approve, that'd be something to approve, make a motion for. Okay, then trunk or treat, right now we're waiting to see, Ben Pine's keeping us up to date on the weather for Saturday, whether or not we're gonna move forward with that. Thursday, Amy and I have decided that that would be the day, that's the last day we can cancel the bouncy houses if looks like weather's bad. Light Up Borden is November 23rd. And I will tell you that the Friends of the Park is up their amount for this year, so instead of spending $3,000 down at the park, it's gonna be $5,000, and I think they're gonna be able to decorate a lot more with that. And then the town, the gentleman told us that our contract this year would be $2,000 instead of $3,000 because we got the lights. So, and I'm working, Kimmer's still checking to see if they can donate the $3,000 again this year. The next one is the Borden Tri-County Water Board appointees. There's 3 that are up for appointees, which is,
It's myself, Junior McCoy, and Gerton.
Chris
Gerton.
yeah, Chris.
And Daryl brought this to our attention at the last meeting, and while we were all together, I asked them if they all wanted to continue to serve, and they all answered in the affirmative. So if it's all right, we'll just keep it like it is.
Thoughts, either one of you guys? No?
Unless you want to be on the water board and take my spot.
Oh, no, thank you.
And I don't want to be on the water board. We got we got messed over by one of our members at at the last time we tried to do something with them, but
Yeah, we did.
I don't have a problem with it. It's not a big deal.
Okay, okay. Next is, I don't know if you saw it before you left town, but in front of Borden Bargains, there's barrels now from NDOT. They're doing some underground utility work, just so that everybody's up to speed on that. They're gonna be here from the 14th through the 24th. The next thing is paving on Walnut Street. So we have two bids. One's from Temple and Temple for 1,800, and Chris Gray talked to both companies. So, and then CNR was 74.90. But I think a lot of it's because Temple's gonna have their equipment already here doing the parking lot. So it's easy for them to move down to Walnut Street and do that.
See, the paving with the parking lot was before that. When's that scheduled, or do we have it?
Oh, did I
scheduled
skip
yet?
that?
Yeah.
It's the very last
Oh,
one.
sorry, I did. Paving for the parking lot, they are milling this Thursday and Friday, and then paving next Thursday and Friday.
Okay. Yeah, that's weird that they're at 1,874.90. I'm still not sure there's not some underground work to do there more than paving. That's very common. We've seen that fall down in our streets and a couple times, and it was settlement that needed to be repaired. So I'm okay with it, obviously the $1,800 bid, but if they're just gonna pave it and not fix the problem, we're gonna be right where we are again.
Chris got with them and told him he thought that's all that needed to be done there. I'm with you, but they did a big repair there just a few years ago, and he thinks it was just the settling from that last repair, which, I don't know. But Chris was the one leading that, so that's all I can tell you about it.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
talked to
well-
Chris about it too, and that's what he thought was just the settling.
Well, once they get in there, I'm assuming they're gonna be cutting that out and redoing it, then they're gonna figure it out one way or the other. And if it's the other, I mean, cause we've had the same problem right dead in front of my house, and Temple had to redo it twice in 5 years. So,
The only problem we have down there is it's about 18 foot deep, the pipe is.
yeah,
26 foot deep as it goes underneath the highway, so
yeah,
it's hard to,
deep work,
yeah, it is.
deep work. Yeah, well, I'm good with the $1,800 bid, obviously, and we can just hope that when they mill it out and get down to it, that that's all it really needs.
Yeah,
It's
well, they had that camera, Steve, about 2 years ago, they run a camera through there and didn't find where any pipes were pulled apart or anything. That's why I believe that Chris thinks it's okay.
Okay, all right. Hey, I'm good. I'm good. Just, it's weird that they're that far apart, is my thing.
Oh, yeah.
If they're anticipating more work, so. But you're right, it may be a mobilization charge, added to it, so.
Oh, yeah, I don't know about that. I was just going about the settling part.
Okay, and then the next thing is a subdivision drain clean out and drainage pipe up there. I didn't realize this until I sat down with everybody, made copies of this, but I don't know why it says riprap along Daisy Hill.
He just wrote down wrong,
Yeah,
but it's riprap up around that retention basin and do some repairs
Okay.
up there.
so that one's at $38.50. We
That's
do
for-
not have another quote on it though.
That's
The one Kirk Kessner already fixed this year, is that up there?
No, he has not fixed it yet.
Oh, I thought he dug all that out and fixed it.
No.
There below Gertens.
No, they fixed that. This is over,
This is another one somewhere.
that's another one. There's a
It's on the other
drainage
end of the
pipe.
subdivision, where that
Yeah.
big drain goes across the back and down.
Is it the one from the top of the hill that Chris and I looked at earlier in the year? We're waiting, where it's blown out?
I believe so. I wasn't involved in it, I'm just going by what Chris said and the estimate.
And
Yeah, 'cause that's
Yeah.
not a drain clean out, that's basically, we've gotta reshore that whole wall. The whole headworks fell down in the hole.
Yeah,
Right.
that's it.
Okay, yeah, so that's more than a drain clean out, so.
so
But
do
we
you?
got a quote on it, you got a quote on it?
Yeah, for $38.50.
That's darn cheap for what we view. I mean, it's an 8-foot drop that it's eroded out, that has to be fixed and that headwork put back and restore that. But yeah, it sounds like a great price.
Okay,
Is that from Billy?
yeah, that's from Billy.
Okay.
Yeah. Town signage, we've already talked to, Joey and I've already talked to Chris and Todd for putting up the new signs through the subdivision. They're gonna start there first, then they're gonna go over and put up the speed limit signs on both locations on Main Street and Haywood and get those going.
But basically, Steve, if you can hear me, I told them whenever they're ready that I can spray paint or show them exactly where we need them.
Fantastic. We've been wagging this around for months, so it'll be great to see that come to an end. Thank you.
All right.
And then I'm gonna be working with Amtech on the welcome signs for each end of town. Old State Bank, so, I've been working with Jeff Quill and the Radius team and marketing team on building the site for the Creating Places for the fundraiser. And we just need to figure out what our price is, because we have to put in an amount that we're going to be asking them for. And so we had talked to, and I've already talked to Mike Murphy, and he thought it would be about $460 to do the bank. And that's why I had spoke with Jill Segesser about a BOT, and Greg Martz with GM Development about it also. And he's done a lot of projects, 200 to 300 BOTs across the state of Indiana. He's working on a trailhead project very similar to ours with the old base building, and he thinks this would be a great project for that also. And that's where, I'm sorry?
And Matt's very well versed in them as well.
Yeah, Matt's on the redevelopment commission in Charlestown too, and works with Jill on that.
Yeah, I've probably handled about 20 BOTs or more in the last couple of years, so.
Okay, and that's where the resolution came around. So the BOT resolution, it's just a blanket resolution that is for any BOT that the town could enter into now or anywhere in the future. And I don't see, I mentioned that,
Yeah.
yeah, that's it, so.
And yeah, one of the things that's nice, and I see this, it's in this resolution, is, there's several ways to go about the process of releasing requests for proposals, which is what starts off the BOT process for each project. So this does give flexibility. It authorizes the town council president and the town development coordinator to determine what project should use it. And so instead of having, since the town council only meets once a month, if you and Steve, for instance, decided, we should do a request for proposals for this, the council doesn't have to vote to issue the request for proposal or the RFPQ. You all just do that, and then it comes to the town council when it comes time to do the public hearing and make the award. So that makes it not drag on as long, since you designate that in the resolution.
Okay. But I just thought it'd be nice to present it to all three of you so that, if we could get that in place, and that way on the 30th in our sync meeting, when Jill comes, if that's something that we would think that, the bank project's a good project for then we could move forward with, that BOT.
I'm not, and I've shared this in a couple of emails, I am not educated on the BOT process, and like I say, I think it's kind of new and I don't understand, but what little I've done is I've never seen anything in the writing except new projects, not renovations, BOTs. And Matt, your experience may help us learn more about that. And I still don't understand, who's going to operate it once it's built, who's going to operate it before it's transferred to the town, and then how does all that work? I don't understand that process. So I think the resolution, in my opinion, in my emails back to the team, was I think we're ahead of ourselves a little bit until we get an education at the end of the month. But maybe you can help us out.
Yeah, I can. So BOT obviously stands for Build, Operate, Transfer. It can be used for a variety of projects. It's a type of public-private agreement. It has a lot of flexibility as far as You know, as far as what criteria is used in evaluating, you know, who to make an award to. I've seen it used for a variety of different projects. I've seen it used for police stations, firehouses, roadways. So I've seen it used in a variety of different perspectives. Now, if the council did decide to adopt this resolution, it doesn't mean that y'all are obligating the town by any means to do BOT to find a contractor for the Old State Bank building renovations. It just gives you the flexibility to use it in the future for any projects, because the resolution does not have an expiration date. The operating aspect of it's really more of a legal fiction. And I say that because normally when we do BOT agreements, you're required to have what's called an operating period. What we normally do is we specify in a BOT agreement that it's 10 days or 15 days, or we make it some very, very small period of time. And then we say, once the operating period ends, the project automatically transfers to the governmental body. It's requirement that you have to have an operating period, but the state law does not state how long. The operating period, you know, we normally require the developer to still maintain insurance on the project site during the operating period, but the reality is it's really more of a legal fiction than anything.
What's the real advantage for us to do a BOT on this versus just going forward with the way that we were going on it, per se?
So I'll say this. Obviously, there's been some other projects recently that have had some change orders and stuff. And one of the benefits of a BOT is that it really limits change orders and creates what's essentially a guaranteed maximum price for a project. So there's a scoping period where you work with the developer before the BOT agreement's executed, where you go over, okay, here's the scope of the project, here's what we're doing, here's the cost. And so you spend time doing that on the front end, and so that way there's a very, very minimal chance of there being cost overruns for a project. So really that is one of the biggest advantages of using BOT as a procurement method.
Because
And
then,
what's the disadvantages?
A disadvantage, I would say, I just created a list of this recently. I'm gonna pull it up here.
Because I'm not against it, I just don't understand it. And so, like I
Well-
said, it just seemed kind of quick to jump into it when we really ain't done our education and due diligence yet, but.
Well, I
you
don't
know.
think signing a resolution is gonna be jumping into it. So maybe we can get Jill or Keely, somebody to come up and educate us all on it.
which that's what
That's scheduled for
Jill,
the 30th.
Yeah.
That's scheduled for our
Okay.
same
Jill.
meeting.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
so, and I
Yeah,
mean,
and so
we
I-
can still have
I'm
prime.
just saying,
Go ahead.
right. No, I was just gonna say, if it's something we're gonna do, great, we can adopt it. But if it's something that's gonna muddy up our docket, why do we need to do it until we decide where this is good for us? That's the only thing I'm saying.
What do you mean by muddy up a docket?
It just adds another document to our length and all of our complexities of our resolutions and ordinance and things like that, so. Not a big deal, but I mean, we got a lot of stuff on there that's old resolutions and dockets, you know, in there. But, I mean, I guess if there was better education on this, and we would probably have clarity
Right.
to understand whether to do it or not.
I'm opening a Word document right now that it provides an overview of the process, so I just opened it so I can go over that really quickly. It's something Bo and I prepared together. Okay, so BOT agreements, when structured properly, may offer a streamlined design and development process with an efficient procurement process, flexible financing terms, built-in cost savings, and risk mitigation. The unique approach to design and financing has numerous advantages when compared to traditional procurement processes, such as the selection of the entire project team, for instance, designing construction under one contract. So you're contracting with the developer, they may subcontract with the engineer or something, but you're really only contracting with the BOT developer for each project. Control of the design timeline. There's normally a timeline in each BOT agreement about when certain scoping deliverables, when construction drawings are prepared, etc. Oversight and authority of design elements and approvals. A no cost or low cost scoping period. Greg Martz that Brenna mentioned, we've worked with him on a lot of BOT deals, and he does not charge any fees for scoping. So in other words, if you negotiate with Greg and then the town decides, hey, we don't want to use you, or we don't want to use BOT as procurement method, then you're not out anything as far as the BOT developer goes. Numerous financing options, potential for lower issuance costs, especially if you're compared to like issuing bonds, for instance. Assumption of construction risk by the project team, and as I mentioned before, a guaranteed budget or maximum price with no change orders. Now, drawbacks of the BOT process. The length of the scoping period with a developer may be lengthy depending on the developer and the complexity of the project. Some developers may require fees for the scoping period, although most do not, or build those costs into the guaranteed maximum price should they be awarded the BOT. If a project is being financed with federal funds, it's possible that the federal agency may not be familiar with the BOT process, since the BOT process is unique to Indiana, although many other states have various processes for public-private agreements or P3s. There could be greater exposure to a governmental entity if property where a project's being built is in the name of a developer with a single purpose entity. In other words, a developer that creates a special corporate entity just for that project. Depending on the client's preference, there are various ways to go about procurement process. Some governmental entities make the award to the preferred developer and then enter into the scoping period. Other governmental entities determine to enter into the scoping period with the preferred developer or multiple potential developers before making the award. So I guess that's a drawback, just because there's not always one consistent approach to that. And then the statute is not entirely clear on who needs to make the recommendation of the BOT award. Sometimes the governmental body that issues the request for proposals and qualification makes a recommendation. Other times the governmental body establishes what's called an RFP review committee to make a recommendation to the governmental body and who to make the award. So those are basically some of the drawbacks to the approach.
So what is the cost of the BOT? If he's doing scoping for free, does that exacerbate the cost though in this? If the project cost is supposed to be $460,000 and we paid $35,000 for engineering already, what additional costs come as a result of utilizing a BOT?
Well, so yeah, there's different ways to do it. So if the design has already been done, then design is then not part of the BOT process. In other words, the developer would just be over the construction or the renovations of the structure.
Because we'd be going out for a BOT for a contractor and a developer.
Correct. But like I said before, at least most BOT developers that we've worked with do not charge a scoping fee when they're negotiating like what the budget and the guaranteed maximum price is.
Like, oh, you'd have like, if they do it for free, then up to the point, all we have is the advertising fee for both newspaper.
Yeah, advertising,
Yeah,
a
advertising.
little bit of legal, of course, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why, and again, this is my education, because I don't know if we, like say, if we go this route, and we say it saves us from any cost changes, change orders, and things like that, but it adds $30,000 or $40,000 more to the cost for the project management, and I guess we gotta weigh that out, that's what we wanna pay for a BOT, right?
There's normally a little bit of overhead built into the process, but, Greg Martz could give you a better answer on what type of overhead fees he would normally charge.
Yeah, and Jill was wanting to partner with Greg on it, so. But I mean, that's more questions that, she can walk us all through it, on the 30th.
Yeah, a lot of times in BOT agreements, we have an exhibit that has the budget in it, so it's pretty clear what the different categories are.
So I mean, it's up to you guys if we want to pass the resolution to where, any future project, because I mean, I've heard that you can use it on several different projects in town, and people are really using it more than doing it, straight up bid procurement, because across in Indianapolis, they use BOTs all over the place, I've heard.
Yeah,
So,
they do. There's been a lot of BOTs in Indy, so.
Yeah. So I mean, if that's what you guys would be okay with passing tonight or not, so.
But yeah, Jeffersonville uses it, Charlestown uses it,
So if
New
we're-
Albany, Floyd County, Clark County, a lot of local government entities use it.
Yeah. Okay, well, I guess you guys can think about it or whatever, but.
Well, we need to have that sorted out before we get in front of
Okay,
everybody,
okay,
so.
so what do you guys wanna do?
I don't care. I'd like to know more about it as well, but I trust what Matt is saying.
Okay, which, yeah, I mean, it's not that we're doing a BOT on the building tonight. This
No,
is just.
correct.
Yeah, a resolution to where the town could do a BOT in the future.
Does it have to be done, does it need to be done for a particular reason?
No, I mean, I was just getting everything in motion in case we
Okay.
do a BOT for the
Then-
bank building.
Well, and
that
then
way-
you don't have to wait for another meeting
Meeting
to
to
pass
get
a
it passed.
resolution to get
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
ball rolling then.
So like, say on the 30th, if we decide to do a BOT on that bank building, we'd already have the resolution in place to where,
Then the
We could go ahead.
RFP could go ahead and get prepared
Right.
and issued. But, I mean, I've had some clients, and I've even used BOTs with like school corporations, fire protection districts, and yeah, it provides a lot of flexibility. And I've had some clients where we help them adopt this 523 adoption resolution, and then they didn't use BOT for 4 or 5 years later. So everybody kind of varies on how they go about that, I guess.
So it's just another tool we would have in case we wanted to use it.
Yeah, another procurement tool in the toolbox.
And no harm, no foul if you don't want to use it.
Yeah.
Now, who makes a decision on who does the BOT? Is it like Steve, or is it Brenna, or is
Well, the
it
way
council?
the resolution's currently worded, it says town council president and town development coordinator. So it would be both of them working together on it, and then the council would be the one that would hold the public hearing, hear comments from the public, and then pass the resolution making the formal award. So the town council definitely has a say in it.
They're
The town
still-
council.
So we all have a vote in it?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay,
yeah.
that's all, awesome.
If you guys want it, I'll vote for it. We need to be all together for sure. I'd say I'll feel better with more education on it. What I don't know is because we're already saying this is more money than we've got. This project is more money than we got. And if we exacerbate that by adding money to it, it may even make it a longer term, problem. I see head shaking. Does that mean we don't believe that's true?
No, I don't think from what I'm hearing, if we do this, the ball's in our court, we can say, here's how much money we want to spend, and they can't jack it up. They can't come back in the middle of the project when they decide they haven't made enough money and turn in a change order. It's like a fixed price guarantee is what it amounts to. Is I understanding it
Yeah,
right now?
guaranteed maximum price. And so I've had some clients before where they got quotes from subcontractors and, at the front end, and they said, well, it's gonna be a little bit more expensive. How can we cut costs? How can we do this more efficiently so we stay in budget? So,
Well, I mean, it's kind of set with engineers. When they say it's gonna cost 460, we can't go to them and say, we only got 320,000 to do the project, right? That's what I'm saying. If we ain't got enough money already, then it makes it a moot point to even try to add costs to it. But, even with the benefits that Matt shared, I'm fine. If you all want to pass a resolution in case we ever use one, that's fine. But I think that more education is necessary. Matt, if you can share that document with us, if you're able to.
Yeah, I'd be happy to.
Both create-
No, Steve, I think we're all in agreement, we need more education. I think this is just, if we do decide we want to do it, we don't have to go back and lose a month or whatever. That's all this amounts to tonight.
Right. Yeah, if you two want it, I'll vote for it too.
Okay, what's next?
Okay. Wood car grant, we are applying for, $2,000 for, what it is, well, it's kind of like what the Lions Club, so that, I should have had Lions Club on here also, but Joey's gonna speak to it. But, so the police department needs 2 breathalyzers and 2 new vests. And so it's $4,017. We're asking $2,000 from the Lions Club. We've already got that application submitted. I think that's gonna go through. $2,000 from Wood Car Foundation. That opens up this Friday. And actually, it might have opened up the 13th. I think it opened the 13th and it closes on the 31st. So we're asking for the remaining $2,000 for them for those 2 items, or 4 items. The sensory walk update, so the Friends of the Park is applying for funding from a Wood Car grant also, and from the Lions Club to help with that project. Ready 1.0 funding, I heard back from the RDA, and Ernst Young, it's went to the lawyer's office now, and it's just waiting for them to say yes. But the IEDC has already approved it, and so we're just waiting for the Ernst Young just to sign off on it, and then we can begin for the
Is there a way
restrooms.
that we can, is there a way now that we can go ahead without
No.
getting everything final?
No,
What?
no, they said not to do anything until Ernst Young signs off on it and they call us.
What I'm saying though, to finish my statement, is can't we get some quoting on that stuff? Can't we just get a quote to see what paving would be and stuff so we can kind of prepare that? But you're saying we can't even get quotes?
We already got quotes on paving.
Okay,
Yeah, we already had a quote for the drive back there.
and for the
And for
sidewalk and all that?
yeah, we already sent it, and that's what we had to send in to them, to show them how
Okay.
much it was gonna cost.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
Okay.
I hope we don't give up $200,000, so.
no, that's why I've been chasing it for 4 years. Rural Placemaking Studio, you guys will see the design that they sent us. That's what they came up with. Now, when we get an artist on board, after we apply for funding, and in the spring, we'll have to do it in the spring. But we can, because I asked them to put strawberries in there, they didn't put strawberries. But I mean, it's kind of a pretty design. But we asked them to put Borden, Indiana up at the top, but they put rails to trails. So, but we can change all that design, we can add to it, whatever, when we get to that point. But that's what they came up with. South Monon Trail, of course, we were talked to Carol Johnson and everything. We were in the Southern Indiana Business Magazine. That was shared on Facebook. Also talked to Ryan again today. He's moved back the ribbon cutting to February, March now, from December. So that was updated on Facebook also. And then also Radius contacted me the other day, and they are going to be bringing the town a check. So there's gonna be, they're giving us a check, I think it's like $750 for helping like spray on the trail and stuff that we did over the summer. And then Todd had mowed some down along the park. So they're handing that to us on Thursday. Cops grant, Joey's gonna talk about it, but we did get that awarded on Friday. We're waiting to hear all the other information on how we get that and all the procedures to follow with that. Park, the Muddy Fork erosion, I got an estimate from Kurt Keshner, Billy, for $7,800 to unload and install the bricks along the creek. And the price for blocks, not bricks, blocks along the creek. And I called IMI, and they have, it would be 30 of the 6-foot long blocks for $1,950, but that's not getting them here. So we have to talk to Billy about getting them here. And then the riprap would be $750 a load that we would need to put into it, but they don't know how much that would be. So I was gonna talk to the park board and the Friends board about that at the next meetings. And then the landscaping in between the two the flags in front of the amphitheater, 180-foot long, 15-foot wide, would be $5,775. So I don't know if we just wait until spring to do that and just worry about the erosion in the creek. So, but I was gonna take that to the park board also. And then next month's meeting date falls on Veterans Day, right?
Well, we adopted at the beginning of the year, we adopted November the 4th as our date. That's what we said
Okay.
when we said, but I
Right.
just wanted to remind everybody that it's the 4th of November and not the 11th,
Okay.
because, you know, just automatically.
November 4th.
Is that, what day of the week is that?
It's a Tuesday, but it's just the week earlier instead of the second because the second Tuesday is Veterans Day. I know the first Tuesday is technically Election Day, but there's no elections this year, so we should
Okay.
be okay. But we did adopt that at the beginning of the year. It's just a reminder
Okay.
to let everybody know that it's the 4th and not the
Okay.
11th.
Reminder.
That would make things more complicated with the voluntary annexation. I'm just pointing that out based on timing.
Okay.
It's 20 days after the notice, so,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, and then I know we had talked about this in another meeting, but I did confirm with Jack that it's 650,000 instead of 600. And then also I talked to Rick Cutter, and he's gathering information about us doing a ribbon cutting for the new business at the business park. So we're gonna work on doing a ribbon cutting for them and make a big production of it also, and have the media out and everything. So, working on that. But that's all I have.
Anybody else have anything?
So, on the other business, were you gonna discuss what we discussed earlier?
No, we are gonna do that, sorry. Rudy skipped over it, but when we get to sewer department where we usually just discuss that, we have a statement or a motion, and I gave it to Leanne. We looked over it with Matt on that, and so we'll make the motion then under sewer department,
Okay,
so.
all right. Is tonight also the public hearing?
Yes, that starts at the beginning. So after the prayer and pledge, we're gonna open the public hearing for the budget.
Okay. one change. The meeting agenda says the meeting date's October
yeah.
10th, just,
Yeah,
so just a little edit, no big deal.
yeah, we saw that before we could get you online.
I guess we're ready.
Okay, okay,
All right, if we're done, I'm gonna take a break, go the rest
Okay.
of it. Anybody else need to go?
okay. Send me another meeting, because it would not let me connect on our end.
I'll send you another one. Yeah,
Okay.
turn this one up.
Okay, let's leave this one.
Motion to adjourn.
Oh,
Motion to
Yeah,
adjourn.
motion adjourned.
Motion adjourned, been made, all in favor,
Aye.
All right.
all opposed?
okay, see you in a few.
I don't think we have